Is it fair to ask the question if it was literally supposed to be me who was supposed to be back on tour with Charlie? Did he say no to killing Candace Owens?
I really didn't think it was possible, but Candace's conspiracy theories are getting more delusional and even more narcissistic. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, your home for independent commentary and analysis on news, media, internet culture, and more. And we're going to check back in with Candace Owens, who, after all this evidence has come out in the early preliminary hearing about the case against Tyler Robinson, the alleged murderer of Charlie Kirk, she is finally seeing the light, realizing that a lot of the claims she's made are not really adding up about Egyptian planes and Brigitte Macron somehow being involved and Erica Kirk and all this stuff. And Candace is finally acknowledging the truth and trying to get back to reality and apologize. Ha! You thought she's not doing any of that. No. Instead, she is twisting the conspiracies about Charlie Kirk's death into new directions that are like genuinely breathtakingly narcissistic. Candace now suggested that whoever they is, we still have no idea whether it's of all the people she's implicated, everyone from the Trump administration to Israel to France to Egypt to Turning Point USA Faith to Erica Kirk herself to Ben Shapiro. So we still don't really know who they is. But she's now suggesting they killed Charlie possibly because he didn't want to kill herself, Candace Owens. That's right. She literally thinks Charlie's assassination was actually all about her. Let's watch the clip. You don't have to take my word for it. Let's watch.
I know what my gut has told me about the situation from the moment that it took place. I know what beyond my gut and beyond my dreams, the statement from Andrew Colbert, it was supposed to be you. Was it? Was it? Is it fair to ask if it's plausible that when Charlie was taken to the Hamptons, the phone call no one wants to address from Bibi Netanyahu, is it fair to ask the question if it was literally supposed to be me who was supposed to be back on tour with Charlie? Did he say no to killing Candace Owens?
What?
And then did he become a liability because he said no? What did Charlie turn down from Bibi Netanyahu while Erica was there? Again, the people that were present don't even want to acknowledge the phone call. I only got an acknowledgement that it happened from Erica in person, who then said, oh, he was just following up on a letter that Charlie wrote in May. Really? Bill Ackman's house, you put Bibi Netanyahu on the phone? And he's just like, hey, I got your letter. I want to talk about that letter from months ago. This feels like a good time. I don't buy it, guys. I think this is darker than we could ever imagine.
Well, that's true. It is getting darker than we could ever imagine because Candace's conspiracies and narcissism are getting darker than we ever could have imagined when this first started and she was just asking questions. I mean, I really want you guys to pause and think about what she just suggested. She just suggested, Candace Owens, that Charlie Kirk may have been killed because when Bibi Netanyahu called him, he asked to kill Candace Owens, and Charlie Kirk said no. Yes, guys, because if Israeli government officials decided they wanted to assassinate Candace Owens, the first thing they would do is call Charlie Kirk while he's at a public meeting and ask him for permission. What the Are you high? Put down the crack pipe, lady. You have had enough. Foreign leaders don't ask activists for permission before they take out in a covert operation and assassinate another activist and commentator. And then they're certainly not bound by his permission when he says no. They could still theoretically do it anyway. And they certainly aren't like bound by that edict to the point where they would then need to stage a fake assassination for him and frame someone, which is what she's alleging. I'm not telling you that intelligence agencies or governments have never had anybody killed. Of course they have. But that's definitely not how secret government assassinations work. And the fact that in her head it has to all be somehow actually about her is really, really deeply revealing about the like malignant narcissism and just conspiratorial paranoia that has taken Candace Owens off this cliff to this absolute crazy land. I want to read you a tweet someone replied after I criticized this on X. Someone said, "It's beyond stupid. If the French legionnaires, Israeli Mossad, Egyptian hitmen, or the U.S. government wanted to assassinate Kirk, it would have been an attempted robbery in a dark parking lot, or while he was walking his dog or taking out his trash. It wouldn't have been in a public forum in front of 3,000 witnesses and with law enforcement nearby and requiring the cooperation of probably hundreds of people who are in on it, from UVU campus security all the way to the lawyers representing Robinson. It's such a ridiculous claim, it makes you wonder how retarded one would have to be to believe it." I mean, in the case of Candace Owens, your words, not mine, but she certainly struggles to discern reality from fiction and has just extremely warped and paranoid thinking where she applies like 1,000% level scrutiny to every official narrative or claim, which I do think we should apply scrutiny to these kinds of claims, and then zero scrutiny at all to any of her alternative theories and conspiracy conjecture, because this really is so true. If some government agency did want to get rid of Charlie Kirk, right? This is not how they would do it. The layers, the hundreds, if not thousands of people who would have to be in on this grand conspiracy where they're framing some assassin, but also she claims Tyler Robinson wasn't there on campus. So it's not even like Israel just got to him and got him to do it, but actually Israel killed him some other way, then set him up to frame him, and even had lookalikes wearing his clothes, walking around in the surveillance footage on the day of. That's actually her theory at this point. What? They would just cut his brakes. He'd just get randomly mugged and it would go wrong. Like, that's not... They don't stage this elaborate, multi-level, insane schemes to do something to someone. And I'm almost speechless at how far this has now gone. And yet millions of people are still nodding along and clapping like seals to it. And again, I disagree with this commentator. I don't think those people are all retarded. I think they have suspended their critical thinking because they find this entertaining. So they are consuming Candace's theories as if they're watching the plot of some TV show, and they're just engaging in a total suspension of disbelief, and they're not analyzing it critically the way they might if they were watching a news broadcast on TV or a speech from a politician trying to get their vote or whatever. And that's the problem. What she's doing should be scrutinized, but they're like, I don't know, they're in entertainment mode when they're analyzing it and watching it. But this isn't entertainment. This isn't fiction. It's real people's lives. It's a family that was targeted and destroyed and victimized. It's a widow. It's children who will grow up to see all of this. It's really bizarre and sick stuff. And then she's just grasping at straws at this point. I mean, I'm going to show you another clip where she suggests that it's somehow proof of a conspiracy or talking points going out or something like that, that people are watching the preliminary hearing or following along with the reports coming out of the preliminary hearing and keep saying the evidence is overwhelming against Tyler Robinson. Overwhelming evidence. They all keep saying that. What a crazy phrase that people say all the time. Anyway, let's watch that clip of her.
A seemingly infinite number of influencers on social media who watched the Tyler Robinson preliminary hearing last week, and they reported back to us common folk that they came away from it and they were effectively drowning. They were submerged. They were engulfed. They were completely buried by the avalanche of undeniable evidence that Tyler Robinson murdered Charlie Kirk. I mean, they were so consumed that they all just began using that exact same adjective to express themselves. It is overwhelming. In fact, that has really been the key word since last year, right? It is the new wear a mask, save lives, 6 feet social distancing. The evidence against Tyler Robinson is overwhelming. Check out this little collage we put together of influencers who apparently need to pop a Xanax, right? The evidence is becoming overwhelming against Tyler Robinson. Thanks, Graham. Steve Deese, the podcast, today's podcast, an overwhelming evidence against Tyler Robinson. Paramount, not so tactical. The evidence against Tyler Robinson is overwhelming.
Can we just go back? And I want to point this out to you because she has it on screen. One of the tweets she pulled is from December 2025, so over a year ago. So she's actually only has 4 examples of people saying the evidence is overwhelming. Is that crazy? That of the hundreds of people, maybe thousands, publicly commenting on this case, that 4 people, unless you are going back over a year, so discount that one, would say the phrase that the evidence is overwhelming? I'm not getting the part of that that's fishy. That's like an extremely common phrase to use about a case. So that's like, say that there was a lawsuit against the administration that just dropped, and it was like a very strong lawsuit, or against, just theoretically, could be a lawsuit against Biden admin, could be against the Trump admin, and you went and found a bunch of reporters that said, like, this looks like a slam dunk lawsuit, right? With the hundreds of reporters, I could probably make a collage that says that shows 5 or 6 different reporters all using that exact phrase. Would that mean that they're like getting talking points from the centralized, people, the they behind everything? Or is it just a common phrase people use? I think it's just the latter. Like, you're really grasping at straws here, Candace. Especially because the evidence kind of is overwhelming. I mean, they have DNA, they have forensics, they have surveillance footage of Tyler Robinson he was identified in it by his own family. They have text messages confirmed by his lover where he confesses to it. It's like there really is a lot of evidence. Now, I understand she thinks it's all fake, even though that would require coordination between state and local police, the feds, and apparently Tyler Robinson's defense attorneys, who don't challenge the veracity of a lot of this, at least haven't yet, and will have every opportunity to. She thinks it's fake, but obviously, like, most of us do not. So yeah, then we do think there's overwhelming evidence, and that's not some rare phrase. What? We're really reaching here, Candy, but I'll let you finish.
Gunther Eagleman, the evidence is overwhelming, to say the least. Kind of feels like he's saying the most. Jack is quoting Don Trump Jr. As having said the evidence against Tyler Robinson is overwhelming. That's just one page. Allie Beth Stuckey, Mike Lee, the evidence against Tyler Robinson could not be more overwhelming. He couldn't be more.
So again, these are some of these tweets she's pulling are quite old. So she pulled one here from November of 2025, another one from June. And then a couple more that are from this week, or actually another one from late June. Only 2 of these tweets are from the timeline when, actually, no, only one of them appears to be from when the preliminary hearing was happening. But regardless, like, okay, so even if you had 10 people saying the evidence is overwhelming, what does that prove exactly? That people all said a common phrase. But also, it's like, again, there's got to be thousands of posts of people discussing this case. And you found at most like 10. This is the investigative journalist of our times? This is the girl who's going to get to the bottom of it all? Because she just searched the word Twitter for the word overwhelming? Search the Twitter website, rather? What are we doing here, folks? Even if she has more examples, it's like, okay, what if you found 15, 20 people saying the evidence is overwhelming? Okay. What about it? That's a common phrase. And thousands of people are discussing the case. And the evidence is overwhelming. I feel like I'm going insane. What is happening?
Or submerged. Andrew Colbert, it's overwhelming against Robinson. Whoever Brent is, it's overwhelming. Susie, it's overwhelming. Clay Travis, it seems overwhelming. Some people even went so far as to report that it was actually the most overwhelming thing that they have ever witnessed in their entire lives in the courtroom.
There you have it, folks. Candace has cracked the case that obviously something fishy has to be happening here, because she found like 10 people using the phrase overwhelming evidence. And in fact, when you think about it, it really all naturally has to actually all be about her. And surely Charlie must have just been killed because of Candace Owens. I'm still not over that. What a delusional, narcissistic person she is. Really breathtaking. Not only are you going to just recklessly abuse your platform with disregard for the truth to spin elaborate conspiracies for people's entertainment about the death of your supposed friend, no matter what pain it causes his family and children and the people who care about him, all to enrich yourself and make yourself famous. Not only are you going to do that, but then you're going to have the audacity to actually suggest that even his death itself was actually all about you, despite that making no sense and there being no reason whatsoever to believe that that's the case. This is too much. This is too far. Frankly, it was too far a long time ago. But this has to stop. This is out of control, people. I don't know. I don't understand how anybody is still falling for this, but that's just my take. You guys will have to let me know what you think in the comments below. Do make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you aren't yet, do hit the like button while you're at it. Do consider becoming a channel member. That's the best way to support my work, my independent, fair-minded, nonpartisan analysis. Unfortunately, that's not always the best business model. If you just pander to the left or the right or just spin elaborate conspiracies about Brigitte Macron's penis and how that's somehow connected to Israel wanting to kill Charlie Kirk or whatever, then you can make millions of dollars and get millions of subscribers. I don't do that. So I do need support from viewers like you who actually support this kind of independent, reasonable-minded commentary and analysis. Just hit the join button or click the link in the pinned comment to become channel members. It's the best way to support my work, and you also will be able to leave comments and questions that I address in regular videos where I answer member comments and questions. So thanks to all of you guys for tuning in, and we'll be back with more real soon.